In today's consumer awareness guide video, I am talking about the 3 critical steps that you must take once you are ready to actually sell your home. So if you are thinking about selling your home in the next 6 to 12 months, what you do ahead of time to prepare for the sale of your home can make a huge difference in the success of the transaction, whether it's going to be stressful or whether it's going to go smoothly. The first critical step to take when you're ready to sell is you need to identify any liens, encumbrances, or disputes that may be on your property. Lots of times sellers forget about these things or they don't want to disclose them. For instance, I just had a seller that I was working with and they never told me that the roof wasn't paid off. And we were in the middle of due diligence, and this becomes a huge problem for the buyer because they start getting skeptical, wondering, oh great, who am I getting into a business deal with? Whose house am I actually buying? So it's very important that you're extremely honest with your real estate agent about any liens or encumbrances that might be on the property currently if you have not been able to get those disputes cleared. So shortly after you open up an escrow on the home, you're under contract, there's going to be a title search on your property. And if you have any liens or encumbrances, or say you did a remodel and you never paid your contractor or your architect, or you never paid a subcontractor, those things can show up on your title search. So you're going to need to pay those things off before you list your home. So hopefully you're not one of those people that doesn't pay people, like do business with somebody like that. Also, make sure that you check public record to ensure that you have the legal right to sell the home and that you do not have any liens on the property. So try to think back. Do you have any IRS back taxes, property tax, child support, or bankruptcy issues? If you've had any of these things and they haven't been cleared up, chances are you could very well have a lien against the property. Now, not to worry, you can still sell your home with a lien against the property if you do not have the funds to pay it off. However, it will come out of the proceeds of the sale. So when you sell your home, the title company will make sure that those contractors, that roofing company, whoever you owe money to will actually get a check cut directly to that company. The bad news is that it's less money in your pocket. The second thing that you want to do before you get ready to sell is you want to check your loan documents. How much do you still owe on this house? And is it going to be profitable for you to actually sell your home? You're selling your home for $1 million and you still owe $500,000 on it, then you're going to be not taking a huge profit. So you have to really dig deep, look at your finances, and see if that's actually what you want to net. You also need to look at how the title is held and who is also on title with you, because those people will need to be present. For instance, if you are selling in a trust or you are selling in an LLC, you have to provide the articles of incorporation to the title company, and the title company can then let you know whose signatures actually need to be on the paperwork. The last thing that you want to do is get into a contract and have the wrong people signing for the sale of the home, and then it becomes an invalid contract if you can't fix it later. A lot of times you can fix these with just a simple addendum as adding a buyer or doing a name change. But many times there are lots of people that might be in an LLC, they can't come to an agreement. Say there was a house that a whole bunch of siblings inherited because of somebody who passed away, and maybe all of those siblings are not on board to selling that house. And maybe one sibling is trying to sell the house, but you need 2 other signatures for it. You're not going to have a valid contract and you won't be able to sell the house. You need to make sure everybody on the legal title, you have all the correct signatures, and you need to let your realtor know who the people are in the transaction, who needs to be signing all the documents. And a good realtor will actually look this up and make sure that they have the right signatures and the right names on the documents. Also, if you are trying to sell your home with solar panels and your solar panels are not paid off, this could be a problem for many buyers. Lots of buyers who are getting financing. Problem with solar panels is many loans are not assumable. However, if you know that your solar panel loan is assumable and that you're not going to be paying it off at the end of your sale, and that you are requiring the buyer to assume that loan once they buy your home, that that could actually potentially cut your buyer pool by a lot, because many buyers will not be able to get financing and then be able to get more financing if you have a $50,000 solar panel loan that still needs to be paid off. I always say that if you have any solar panel loans on the property, that they should be paid off at closing. That is the cleanest way to do a deal with solar panels. But if you're not going to net that much, then you need to raise the purchase price. So if you need to net a certain amount, a real life story, I had a solar panel deal. We had a cash buyer. You guys, the solar panels were $59,000. The seller was adamant that they were not going to pay this off at closing. And guess what? My buyer had the money to assume the loan, to pay off the solar panels, but she didn't want to. She felt like she was bailing them out and that it should have been disclosed that there was a big loan for the solar panels. And she didn't want to pay over ask on the home, because they wanted to net a certain amount, and that meant she would have to pay, if the home was $800,000, you'd have to pay $850,000, and she didn't want to do that. So keep that in mind, that not every buyer is going to be excited about assuming a $50,000 solar panel loan. Those are a huge problem, and I'm going to actually do a video on solar panels because they're a whole nother story. The third thing that you need to do is you need to take stock. Are you selling the home as is? What is going to be included in the sale of the home? Are you going to be making repairs? Keep in mind that certain lenders and certain government-backed loans will require you to make repairs as a seller in order for that buyer's loan to close. For instance, FHA and VA. Once you've considered all of these issues and you're curious about how much your home is actually worth, please feel free to reach out to me for a discovery call. My information is always down in the description below.